Hi again, everybody. Arnold Hamilton, editor of The Observer in Oklahoma City, along with Richard Fricker, our longtime correspondent in Tulsa. And today, Richard, we're going to talk about the bubble and where Tea Party America resides most of the time. I don't know if you saw the new Washington Post ABC poll today, but the Tea Party took a beating in the government shutdown. And the only favorable ratings they get are from those who describe themselves as Tea Party Republicans.
Well, yeah, I think you've always got true believers. You know, you still have people that belong to the Flat Earth Society and people that believe that Admiral Byrd flew inside the planet and all that. And the Tea Party people are right up there with them. Joshua Holland, writing for truthout.com, I believe it's .com. He also writes for BillMoyers.com. Did a piece on politics and reality radio, and it dealt with the Tea Party. Just Ted Cruz is running around talking about what a great victory the shutdown was, as if he didn't notice that everybody's ready to lynch him from the light post. All over the country, there's these Tea Party people that are just besides themselves with joy that they got to shut down the government, and the fact that it put millions of people out of work, it destroyed our credibility, it did all this, means absolutely nothing to them because they think this is the way people want it. And Joshua Holland in his piece goes into a lot of that. I would recommend it, highly recommend it, on Truth Out.
Well, the ABC News Washington Post poll, again, that came out today, shows a 32% favorability rating for the GOP and a 63 unfavorable view. Now, Democrats don't do a whole lot better, but it is significantly better. They're only at about 49% approvability, I think, at this point. But that's still that's quite a bit better than the Republicans, obviously. And the question I guess becomes is how long our attention span is so short in American politics today that this will not have a lingering effect heading into the 2014 elections, or are we beginning to see a really important schism here within the Republican Party that has long-term implications?
I think there's a schism because there are a lot of good Republicans. They're sane. They dress themselves every morning, and they know that 2 and 2 really does equal 4. And the money is starting to shy away from the Tea Party people because they've made just such utter public asses of themselves, to be about the easiest, most polite way to put it. There's a congressman down in Corpus Christi, Texas. His name is Blake Fairthrow, and he's gone viral. Chubby little fellow with jowls and all that. And someone asked him about the shutdown and veterans not getting their disability checks. And this is what he said, and I'm quoting: "Sometimes you have to make small sacrifices to move forward with what you're after." He's telling the disabled veterans that it's time for them to make small sacrifices for his teabag ideology. I think these guys already made a sacrifice, best I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And but that should tell the public what the Tea Party really thinks of veterans, really thinks of people in general. It's all about their skewed ideology and nothing else.
Well, and obviously here in Oklahoma, a majority of our congressional delegation, I think you could fit into the Tea Party category. So, interesting in light of the fact that Oklahoma is so dependent on federal dollars coming in here.
Well, two things on that. One, I would have agreed with you up until yesterday, and I ran across a teabag blog, and much to my surprise, one of the people on their hit list, as being a rhino, Republican in name only, was Tom Cole,
Mm-hmm.
Republican House Whip, and he was the one guy in our delegation who voted to end the shutdown, voted with the Speaker and with the Senate Republicans to stop all this nonsense. And he's on the teabag hit list. And he's certainly a longtime party favorite. He's a workhorse. He was in the Keating administration. He was a hod carrier for Frank.
But that's part of this schism that you're talking about, because he's considered part of the establishment. He's not considered to be a true believer by these folks. And the poll, the ABC News Washington Post poll that I've been referencing, talked about the fact that those who identify themselves, Republicans who identify themselves as Tea Party members, 75% of them said that they had a favorable view of the government shutdown.
Yeah, and of course they didn't talk to anybody who's sweating a paycheck either. Although I did run across a guy one time that said that he was ashamed to cash his Social Security check every month. But he did it anyway. He did cash the
Didn't
check.
stop him from cashing it. Yeah, exactly.
He felt bad about it, but he did it anyway.
Well, the main split, it seems to me, between the Tea Party crowd, you have the Tea Party wing of the Republican Party, and then you have the corporatist wing. And clearly, I think the corporatists thought that they had the money and the brain power to control these Tea Partiers. They'd throw them a few bones here and there on social issues and some things that were of importance to them, but figured that they could control them by and large. But the reality is, in primary elections in Oklahoma in recent years, attempts to knock off some of these Tea Party folks who have gotten entrenched have not been successful, despite a lot of money coming from the Chamber of Commerce crowd.
Well, House Speaker Tip O'Neill is renowned for having said all politics is local. And I think a mistake that the Democrats have made, I think a mistake Republicans have made. It is local, and I don't care how much money you spend on television ads, on the internet, nothing replaces knocking door to door. Going door to door, you've got your index cards out, you're writing down people's names, how many kids they have, the dog's name, etc. And you're spending your afternoon standing in the front yard talking with these people and their neighbors, and nothing replaces that. And I think both parties have forgotten that. I think the Tea Party has not, because they do go door to door, although it's more pulpit to pulpit, but they're doing the one-on-one contact. And I think the major parties have missed that. And if I were going to run against a teabag doofus, I would start now. I'd get my pack of index cards out. I'd start knocking on doors.
Well, and that's the thing that I'm wondering about here. Nationally, it would appear, particularly with approval rating of Congress down to 12%, it would seem that there's an opening for Democrats to pick up some seats in the Congress, and certainly there are 17 Tea Party seats that appear to be somewhat in jeopardy after this shutdown. I'm wondering if you see opportunities for Democrats here in Oklahoma, who clearly have been in the wilderness for quite some time now, to take advantage of something like this, or whether you think we're behind the curve trend-wise, and we're probably going to be a little slower to this table than maybe even a state like Texas.
If you're talking about Democrats in Oklahoma in particular, and there's a lot of good Democrats. I know a lot of them. I also know a lot of Democrats that sit back, wring their hands, keep their wallets closed, and say, oh, we can't win, so they don't give any money, they don't hold any coffees, they don't hold any fundraisers, and then when the election's over, they say, see there, I told you we couldn't win. And what the Democrats have to do, if they want to get anything back out of the state, is they've got to hit the bricks. They've got to go door to door. You look at the House members, the Democrat House members that have held on. They're the ones that are out there every day pitching. They're making contact, even if it's not in their district. It's networking. We say about Tulsa's not a city of 6 degrees separation. It's more like 3. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows someone who knows someone. And so you have to politic the whole town in many respects. And that's just what has to be done. And social networking, of course. And, you say what you want to about the rubber chicken circuit. That's where the votes are.
Well, and it does appear to me that, Democrats are wisely picking their spots here in Oklahoma, seeing opportunities to pick up seats. And some of these Tea Partiers are giving them a fair amount of additional ammunition because they're making a lot of more mainstream folks here in Oklahoma nervous. But that's probably a topic for another day. So, Richard, we will catch up with you again soon, and it was great visiting with you.
All right, I'll see you. Come to Tulsa.
Okay.